Right here is the battle of the Onks. Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder. This is not a technical chess match. This is a fight where one man brings relentless pressure and the other brings nuclear knockout power. So on one side, we got Derek Chisora, one of the toughest, most battle-tested heavyweights of this era. On the other side, we have Deontay Wilder, arguably the hardest puncher in boxing history. Arguably, okay? So this fight is pretty much pressure and durability versus one-punch knockout power. Derek Chisora is a veteran of the heavyweight division, no doubt. He's fought just about everyone. He's known for his relentless pressure, toughness, and willingness to go to war. So there are several things you have to take a look at when we're looking at his skill set. His entire game is built around forward movement. That is just how the guy goes. No matter what, if he's doing well, if he's doing bad, the guy is always going forward. That's just how he does. He walks opponents down, throws heavy shots, and forces them into uncomfortable exchanges. He doesn't give you space to breathe at all. Chisora is extremely strong in close range. He leans on opponents, works in the clinch, and makes fights physically exhausting. So it's a crazy combination, him always moving forward, and then it's not like, okay, he's moving forward and, you know, he's a weak guy who can be backed up. Nah, he also has crazy physical strength, and that's always a good combination for him. You gotta also talk about his durability. This is one of Chisora's biggest weapons. He's absorbed shots from elite heavyweights and kept coming forward. That toughness makes him very dangerous, although that could be a weakness against Deontay Wilder. He's faced a lot of powerful punchers and used that fight style, but it's fair to say that Wilder is the most powerful fighter he's going to be facing. But that's just how he fights. The combination of the constant pressure, physical strength, durability. Now, when we look at his recent fights, right? Joe Joyce, he knocked out Gerald Washington, lost to Tyson Fury, lost to Joseph Parker by a decision. His recent fight, though, he did beat Otto Wallin as well. You can tell what the issue is. The issue is when he faces the elite of the elite, he loses, okay? But when he faces anyone who's like a B tier or C tier, he most likely wins that fight. All right, he's losing to people like Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker several times, Usyk, right? Dillian White, but that was back in 2018, so I'm not gonna pay attention to that one. But then he beats everybody else. The question is Deontay Wilder still considered an elite heavyweight boxer, right? I'm not saying is he better than Chisora. Obviously, Chisora is not like an A-tier elite boxer, right? Obviously, he's not. But it's a legit question. Wilder is clearly past his prime. He's clearly not the same Wilder as before. He was never known as a technical boxer or anything like that who had a range of skill sets. You know, he's always been known as the one-punch knockout artist. Wilder, of course, like I said, one of the most dangerous punchers the sport has ever seen. He doesn't need volume, like I said. He just doesn't. He doesn't need a perfect technique. He just needs one punch, all right? One punch knockout power. Wilder's right hand is legendary. He has knocked out elite heavyweights, of course, with a single shot. Even when he's losing rounds, he's never out of the fight. And Wilder is not one of those fighters where, oh man, he's getting beat by points, it looks like it's over. No. Up until the last bell rings, he still has a chance to win that fight. He still has a chance to end everything. Another thing you got to talk about with Wilder is his patience. Wilder is willing to wait. He'll give up rounds if it's necessary, just looking for the right moment to land that right hand. And that's just how the guy fights, man. Will patience be a good skill set to exercise a lot against Chisora? 50-50, we can break that down. A big advantage that Wilder is gonna have against Chisora is the reach and distance. Wilder uses his length well. He stays at range and sets up his power shots from the outside. That's just something he does a lot, and he's really good at doing it. Stylistically, that doesn't work for someone like Zhilei Zhang or Joseph Parker, but I think that would be a good advantage against someone like Chisora. And speaking of the fighters that he's faced, when you take a look at Wilder's recent fights, He beat Tyrell Anthony Henderson. With all due respect, probably like the worst fighter skill-wise that Wilder has ever faced. And he still looked slow in that fight. He looked weird. He looked off. They both looked bad, right? It didn't look like an elite heavyweight fight, just being honest. Got knocked out by Zhilei Zhang in a crazy, that was a crazy, the way he got knocked out, he was like turning his back and complaining about something, and then he got knocked out from the side from behind. Crazy. Got defeated and embarrassed by Joseph Parker. Before that, terrible loss, one-sided. I don't even think he won any round in that fight. And he did beat Robert Helenius again. Not a very good heavyweight fighter. And then of course the legendary trilogy with Tyson Fury. So the last relevant win he's had was against Luis Ortiz, I would say. Draw against Fury, that's the last best thing he's done, because beating Helenius and Anthony Henderson is not it, man. So you can see that he's definitely declined. He's not been knocking anybody out in a long time. Does he still have the power? Yes, but he's just so slow right now, man. This is one of the clearest stylistic contracts you can get. It's simple: pressure versus power. Chisora has the pressure, has the volume, has the physicality, while Wilder has the patience, the distance, and the knockout power. And of course, the knockout power is always the equalizer, right? Chisora he's going to want to make it a war. Swang and bang, get in there, get into a nasty, dirty brawl, dogfight, while Wilder will want to pick his moments to land that one-shot knockout. Now, when it comes to the range, I think that's going to be the main thing in this fight. Range is not the main thing, honestly. Range is everything in this fight. If Wilder keeps the fight at long range, he can land the right hand. But if Chisora gets inside, he can make it ugly and wear and tear Wilder down. Of course, like I said, durability versus power. This is the biggest question right here. Can Chisora's chin survive Wilder's right hand? Because if Wilder lands clean, most heavyweights go down. But it's very fair to say that Wilder is not quick with the punches anymore. His jabs aren't as powerful. He does a lot to keep the distance. He did that in his most recent fight, which was a very good tactic, but it's not that impactful as it was anymore. Throwing the jabs to keep the distance is a very good tactic, but against someone who's willing to take punches and just get in there, I don't know. Chisora's game plan is more clear than Wilder, in my opinion. He just has to close the distance immediately. Okay, he cannot stay at range, and that's just not something he does. So it's clear he's going to try to get inside, and then he has to make it a dirty fight. I think that's what he's going to do. I think Chisora is going to try and clinch, lean, and work the body throughout the fight. And then he's going to keep applying pressure non-stop. I don't think we're ever going to see Chisora back up to try to avoid getting knocked out. I don't think we're going to be seeing that. No matter what, if he's winning or losing, I think he's going to be in there. It's either he's going to be keeping the pressure or staying in the middle and standing there with Wilder. Going to try and wear Wilder down over time. If he executes that perfectly, he could win by a late stoppage or a decision. Now, the path to victory for Deontay Wilder, strategy is quite simple for him as well. Like I said, he just needs to control the distance. He needs to use his reach and his footwork constantly throughout the fight. And he needs to keep that patience, man. He cannot get carried away and get into a brawl with Chisora. He will lose if he does that. And then he has to land that right hand. I don't see Wilder winning this fight by a decision. If he lands clean, it's likely over. But to be fair, he does have a lot of time to land clean. So the biggest X factor, in my opinion, is the timing, man. Wilder only needs one moment. Chisora needs multiple rounds of success. This goes without saying, this is a dangerous fight for both men, man. This is the battle of the unks. And I don't see it going the distance. I think this fight is going to end badly, if I'm being honest. Chisora will likely have moments early, pushing forward, making it physical. And normally, you know, prime for prime, I'll be like, man, eventually the pressure creates openings. And against someone like Wilder, that's risky. I would pick Wilder by a knockout, but I think Chisora is going to win this fight, man. When you compare these guys, I think this is the perfect fight for both of them. Washed up unks. with all due respect, okay, when you take a look at Chisora's record, he's beating guys who are like B tier, C tier fighters. He's only losing to the best of the best. Usyk, Joseph Parker, Tyson Fury, right? And it's clear that Deontay Wilder is not on that tier list of a boxer. Right now, as of 2026, Deontay Wilder is not an A tier heavyweight. Okay, no disrespect, I'm just keeping it real. When you look at his recent fights, the way it's not the people he's losing to, it's the way he looks. Because even the fights he's winning against guys that I didn't even know what their name was before they fought Deontay Wilder, he still doesn't look good even when he wins that fight. So he's slowed down more, in my opinion. He's never known as a brawler. I think he loses the brawls when he gets into them, and that's what Chisora is going to try to do. Will he now land a knockout? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I got to go with Chisora, man. I think he has a tougher chin. He'll be willing to make it a dirty fight, and in a dirty fight, I just don't think Wilder beats Chisora. Now, Wilder, you know, another thing you got to talk about is his mindset, man. The guy is he's like the biggest victim in boxing. Always has one excuse or another. Always complaining about one thing or the other. Always, every time. So, I don't know. Is that good or bad? We'll see. Will his ego get into the way? I don't know. But yeah, I think with this fight, I'll be going with Derek Chisora, man. But let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're new.